At what point is this dysfunction a reflection on your leadership?
When I replace my board.
Isn't part of being a leader learning how to work with others? I mean, this is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yes, but when other people are the puppet masters and they're the puppets, this is the show you get. But as you can see, progress is still being made in the village of Dalton.
As you can see, this situation with Mayor Tiffany Henyard in Dalton is an ongoing saga, and it just gets interesting every day. Ben Bradley of WGN News has been on the case from the beginning, and he's been, for years now, he's been interviewing her and trying to figure out what's going on in Dalton. He also has been reporting on what's going on and doing the digging. Well, we found out that Andrew Holmes has been fired from his job in Chicago, where he worked for a local nonprofit. I don't know if he's fired as far as being a trustee for Dalton. We know that he's been no-shows to a couple of trustee meetings. We know that the people don't want him there. We know that all the news stations, national, international, and local, are sitting in the back of these Dalton trustee meetings. And it's getting very, very, very interesting. But Tiffany Henyard, as I said, she has less than, I think, a week now to turn over papers to the FBI. And it's getting real tricky. But let's look at what happened with Andrew Holmes and his job. Check this out.
He is a well-known Chicago activist, known for his work at crime scenes and helping grieving families. But now Andrew Holmes is out of a job. The nonprofit he worked for says he's been terminated amid a lawsuit and allegations that he assaulted a former co-worker. Holmes also serves as a trustee in the village of Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with tonight's story.
We're in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
His name, his face, synonymous with the fight against Chicago violence.
We are just concerned about the child right about now.
On TV screens and in newspapers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during their most difficult times. He met with dignitaries, received countless awards for his work as a crisis responder. But in the wake of allegations against him, now the group he worked for, Chicago Survivors, says Andrew's been terminated. A statement to NBC5 reads, "Our mission is to provide crime victim services to family members of homicide victims, so our relationship with those families and our community is paramount. Without compromise, there needs to be strong mutual trust and an assumed high level of safety for the adults and children we serve. For those reasons, we terminated his employment in April upon learning of the serious allegations."
I'm fighting for every woman.
Holmes also serves as an elected trustee in the village of Dalton. He's being sued by Fania Dukes, Mayor Tiffany Henyard's ex-assistant. Dukes filed this civil lawsuit against Henyard and Holmes. She accuses him of assaulting her. Dukes issued this statement last week describing the lawsuit's allegations.
Until my last memory was me waking up in his room.
In this video, she details what she says happened before and after an incident that allegedly occurred almost a year ago during a taxpayer-paid economic development trip to Las Vegas. On that trip, Henyard, a handful of village and Thornton Township reps, and trustee Holmes. According to the lawsuit, after dinner and walking the Las Vegas Strip with Holmes, Dukes felt disoriented and ultimately blacked out. Holmes has not responded to our repeated requests for a comment. Mary Avant is a retired Chicago police officer. She says the allegations are serious and Chicago survivors did the right thing.
I think it's a little bit of being careful because they have to be concerned about themselves and the look it gives them.
And many residents and also some trustees are calling on Andrew Holmes to step down from the village board. Reporting from Dalton, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
So we've seen Andrew Holmes even call the cops on his own brother, have his brother arrested. We know that his brother dealt with drug addiction and many different things. And we know that he did it for the cameras. And he's known throughout Chicago for years for putting in work. But we also saw Dalton residents very upset with him being a part of the politics of Dalton. And then when these allegations came out, it's gotten even worse. So, but now we see that the feds and WGN News, they've cornered Tiffany Henyard, and they have a roadmap as to how all the corruption has been lined up and started, from family members to friends to maybe a man she's been sleeping with, people on the payroll that shouldn't be on the payroll. This thing is getting real crazy. If y'all don't believe me, check this out.
WGN Investigates has obtained or reviewed subpoenas the FBI served to Thornton Township and Dalton. They serve as a roadmap to the ongoing federal investigation. They seek payment and expense records for Tiffany Henyard, as well as her boyfriend, who runs a violence prevention program for the township. Also named, Henyard's top aide, Dalton's acting police chief, along with 4 village and township trustees and 2 of Henyard's relatives who are on the government payroll.
They'll turn up more and more information. They'll turn up more leads. They may turn up more witnesses. They may find a cooperator. They may find an informant, all which will benefit the investigation tremendously.
But based on what we know now, if you're Tiffany Henyard, how are you feeling?
I would be nervous.
And then, as I said, we remember Keith Freeman, he's already been indicted. So he's already, doing court at a certain time. And WGN, they're not letting up. They're not relenting. They are pressing forward. They're on the case, and they're saying this.
And then there's Henyard's top aide in both the village and township, Keith Freeman. He's been charged with bankruptcy fraud for failing to report his earnings from Dalton, but he remains at Henyard's side. We've learned the FBI served a subpoena on Robbins, where Freeman was previously the village administrator. An audit found he received more money than was budgeted.
Clearly, they've targeted several individuals in both the village and the township, and that should be a red flag.
And we're also seeing now that with all this stuff, there has a cost. Lawyer fees, everything, back taxes. There's a whole bunch of money that the city's owed, and that's what Attorney Delgado was alluding to. He said that without him being on the case, it may balloon from $4 million up to $20 million. So, and they were showing court records. There was also a disgruntled police officer that's suing her because he felt like he got chose over in a promotion because he returned in another cop that was writing false tickets. This cop was writing false tickets to residents to raise more money for the county. Check this out.
Dysfunction in Dalton also comes with a legal cost to taxpayers. Henyard's attorney recently notified the board he was withdrawing from defending the village in 21 cases because Henyard's opponents have refused to pay his bills. The lawyer warning, without a defense, Dalton taxpayers could be on the hook for more than $20 million. And the cases keep piling up. This month, a Dalton police officer filed suit against Henyard in Dalton, saying he was passed over for promotion. In the lawsuit, the officer alleged it happened after he reported a fellow officer was writing unwarranted tickets to boost revenue for the village.
It's Mayor Henyard completely disregarding the law and disregarding the promotional process in the police department.
Attorney Pat Walsh represents the officer and 3 other current and former employees who are suing Henyard and the village. All 4 lawsuits essentially accuse Henyard of misusing her political power.
Mayor Henyard is on an island of lawlessness and is just doing whatever she thinks will benefit her personally and politically, rather than following the laws and doing what would benefit the village of Dalton and the residents of the village of Dalton.
If you want to help the residents, then help them. Why aren't y'all paying for concrete?
What's more remarkable, Henyard's opponents were her running mates just a few years ago.
When you ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI to come. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money.
So I'll say this. There's also allegations that that 2023 BMW that her boyfriend drives, they brought that with the taxpayers' money. We know that she got the Tahoe already with the taxpayers' funds. It's just a lot. She has her boyfriend. He's getting like a 6-figure salary. And you see what's listen. Once you get them W folks on you and they start investigating you, you already know. Like it's already going down. You already in trouble, man. You got Andrew Holmes situation, Keith Freeman situation. The situation where she hired the guy that did the 26 years for SA assault. She brought him in. She wasn't doing the proper criminal background checks. She has a background herself. Like this whole thing is just crazy. But now they have a whole roadmap. They have a whole roadmap as to how the money was being spent, who did this, and what they're doing is they're taking their time because they're leaning on other people. Somebody's going to break. Somebody's going to say, hey, this is how this is done. She was doing this. It's coming out already. It's already coming out. and they're gonna get that boyfriend. They're gonna get that boyfriend. If they find out that car, well, they probably already know that car was bought with the on the taxpayer's dime, and they riding around. And also in the township, he has a boys' youth organization. Where does the funding come from? All of this stuff is going to have to be talked about, man. They're going to have, like, this thing is crazy. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to say something. I'm going to come off the Tiffany Henyard situation for a minute. This right here is an eye-opening, not just for the city of Dalton and the Thornton Township. It's for many cities. We see what's going on over there in Flint, and I'm about to start covering the Flint situation. We see what's going on, and we should make that a big deal. Because it shouldn't just be Tiffany Henyard in the Dalton situation. It should be many cities across America, and not just black. Because I get a lot of comments from a lot of you brothers and sisters out there saying, well, why you always attacking? Why y'all attacking a sister, somebody black? Well, because this black woman is running a black city. And you're not concerned about the black residents that she's hurting? You're only concerned that I'm reporting on a black woman? What about the black women in the residents of Dalton that she's affecting? Oh, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. It's like when y'all say free Roro and free let loose and free knock them out, but you don't ever talk about the victims. They're victims. You don't consider their victims. This is what goes on amongst our people. So shut up talking to me in my comment section about me doing videos on this system, man. But we need to focus a lot of our attention on these cities across America and the wrong that people is doing. And it's not a black thing. It's just it's part of American culture and capitalism. But I'm gonna cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.